Hey guys, so I'm going to go over whether or not organic fertilizers actually work, the pros and cons to them, pros and cons to synthetic, and whether or not we use them in our business and some of the other businesses around, and what the good fit is for your lawn. And this is really specifically aiming for the lawns in the Austin, Texas area. A lot of this will apply across the country or the world, but our programs are written for our soils that we have here. So one of the things I'm going to go over first is our soil around here. We have high pH. They're very alkaline due to all the limestone around, and organic fertilizers actually play a pretty good role in this. If you want to know more about our high pH soil, you can actually check out our other video that we did about this and kind of get a little bit more understanding of our soil. And my background is in soil science. I come out of that field, and I am really big on the soil structure, and that is our foundation. And if you have a good foundation, we'll have a good healthy turf. So organic fertilizers do help quite a bit in helping to mitigate our high pH soil. It is one of the things that will help bring that pH down, which will free up a lot of nutrients and just help out with our long-term health of our turf. The organic fertilizers do have a lot of microbes and carbon in it, which is going to just naturally reduce the pH and improve the soil structure and increase the microbial activity down in there. I don't want to get too scientific, but that's kind of what it's doing. So how does the organic fertilizer work in our summers that we have around here and our winters? Because soil temperature plays a huge role in organic fertilizers. And the reason why is because the microbe population in your soil will break down the organic fertilizer. And in the wintertime, when they're slow because they're cold, just like a lot of creatures out in the wild, they're not doing as much. So you're not getting a lot of activity until that soil temperature comes up, which sometimes can be as late as April, May even, depending on what kind of weather we're having. So we need the microbial temperature, the microbe population to be active, to be able to break down the organic fertilizer, which then they will release the nutrients for the plant to take up. So on the opposite side of that, in the heat of our summer, when we're having a terrible drought, that microbe population is not doing as much either. So they're, you have mass die-offs of the microbes because of the dry soil, the heat, and they will repopulate in the fall again, but they're not doing a whole lot in that summertime. So this is where temperatures play a big role and where this is a positive or negative. In the spring, early summer, they are going crazy. They're feeding on everything, on the organic matter, breaking this down, providing a lot of nutrients to your plants and into the soil. And it's a fantastic little ecosystem that's going on, especially if we're getting really good rain. So some of the pros of using an organic fertilizer in your lawn are going to be, we have a lower burn risk. If you're putting that out, you're most likely not going to burn your lawn. It is generally, and there's a quote or parentheses around this one, is safe for your pets and your kids. There are products and there are rates you could go at that could actually pose a bigger problem than any synthetics. So you kind of have to be careful. Then it also adds a lot of carbon and organic matter, which is great for our soil around here. And then it does provide a nice slow release of nutrients. It is not quick, so we're not going to get burned because you over applied. So some of the cons is when you do put it down, you're not going to see a lot of visual changes in your lawn quickly. This is a program that's slow, and it does take time to build up. Sometimes it can take a couple years, sometimes it can be a couple months, but it is a slow build up and improving your soil, which will then improve your turf health. Using an organic fertilizer is not going to do anything for your weeds, your insect or disease. It can actually make your disease problem a little bit worse because you are increasing a lot of organic matter, which can hold more moisture, which is normally a good thing, but also can be a bad thing. It is expensive. You're going to pay a lot more money for this. You're going to be applying smaller amounts more often. Generally, you're not going to be able to have a really large gap like a synthetic fertilizer program between visits. You want to get that down in there more often and have a consistent application going. There will be generally an odor with these products. They are organic. They're coming from some sort of organic source. So depending on where they come from, they can have a pretty good odor to them. And if you have an actual deficiency that you've picked up on a soil test, it's going to be harder to target specifically that deficiency and harder to improve it. This is one of the big things that can be difficult to deal with, but as a whole, you're going to be able to, if you can spend the money and have the patience, you're going to improve your soil and turf health quite a bit. So the pros of a synthetic program is we're going to be able to get a quick response out of it. We're going to be able to consistently target nutrients, rates, and in the product coming in from the factories is going to be a lot more consistent. And then it's just going to be a lot cheaper to apply. If it's a company that's doing it, it's going to be cheaper. If you're buying it yourself, it's going to be a lot cheaper. There's quite a bit of benefits to this. So that's why kind of a program in between synthetic or a hybrid program that uses both like we do at Century is going to be the best approach to take with doing all this. And if you're really concerned and just want organic, that is a way to go. You're just going to pay for it. So the cons to a synthetic is that it does run a higher risk of burn potential. If it's not watered in correctly, if the rates are wrong, or if you just have somebody that they don't know what they're doing and applying the wrong product at the wrong time of the year on the wrong turf variety, you can run into some pretty good burn potential there. So it has its minuses, it has its pluses, both of them do, and got to look at the whole picture. So are the organic fertilizers safe for your pets? This is a big question, and you do have to be careful because not all organics are safe. There's still plenty out there that are very toxic. You have to be careful with rates that you use, the product that you're actually using, and you want to make sure that you follow the label on all products. Most of the time, you always want to water in whatever you're doing with some of these products. That way it'll be safe after it's dried. You won't have to worry about it. So if you're switching to organic and you're looking for a quick response, I'm just going to say you want to be patient, because a lot of times once you start this program, you're not going to see, it doesn't look like it's working. You may get frustrated. Just be patient. If you stay on the program and you continue to use it, in the long term, you're playing the long game with this. The long term, your lawn's going to look a lot better. And just stay on it. Keep feeding the microbial population in your lawn and keep getting all that organic matter down in there, and you'll really start to see the benefits over time. And these can be pretty huge benefits. You'll have a better root system, which will be able to withstand our hot summers, and you may be able to get away with watering a little bit less. You'll be able to tolerate disease and insect pressure better. It'll look better, and you'll feel good about that you do have a healthy ecosystem down in your soil. So there are a lot of different products you can find on the market, and it's everything from humic acid, sea kelp extract, compost teas. There's quite a bit out there, molasses, and you just need to figure out what all is working for you. There are a couple companies that we like to use, and it all depends on where, if you can get it, where you can get it. Liquid, granular, they both work. At Century Outdoor Services, we actually have a hybrid program, so we do use a lot of sea kelp extract, and we use a lot of humic acids. Both of those are very organic, and it works for us. The reason why we are not 100% organic is because we do cover a lot, the majority of Austin, and out of the thousands of clients that we have, most of them are not going to want to pay for an organic program. If everybody were to want to switch, to organic and pay a little bit more, we would be right there with them. We'd switch right over and we would have an organic program rolling. It is just very difficult to get people to understand that it does cost more, but the benefits outweigh those costs. There are a few things where an organic program could be an issue. If you're in an area where phosphorus is restricted, this is going to be hard to apply sometimes, and you got to really watch what you're doing. Some states or some districts will not allow phosphorus or will limit the amount that goes down due to leaching into the soil and getting into the water profiles. So if you don't have this yet, it probably will come in the future. It's something that's spreading over the years. And this just happens to be from misuse of synthetic fertilizers or organic fertilizers. It goes both ways. Overuse of either one, it can be very bad for our water tables and our water sources. So if you're doing your lawn yourself, normally my thoughts and my expertise tells me you want a hybrid model. You go with organics as much as you can when you can, and use synthetics when it's necessary. When I can make a whole nother video on weed control and insect control. Those would not be organic. There's some products out there that people will say, oh, in rock areas or somewhere where you don't want grass to grow, use these products. But on the soil biology level, they're actually very toxic. So you have to be careful. Just because it says organic does not mean safe. So taking a hybrid approach is always my recommendation. There are plenty of products out there that are organic. Use those to your advantage and just make sure you're reading on how to apply. Make sure what you're putting down is actually safe and working. If somebody's telling you, oh, organic 100% is the best way to go, it works, and you'll see all the results, it's not always true. You have to be a lot more patient with the products. You may run into some issues with it. Your consistency of the product may be an issue, or just what you're seeing in your lawn may be inconsistent. So you just have to be willing to be a little bit more patient, accepting some issues with it, accepting a slow response out of everything, but know that in the long run, you're actually doing a lot of good for the health of your property. If y'all have any questions on this, leave a comment below, or if you're looking to get on our service, you're in the Austin area, please give us a call and we'll get you taken care of. Thanks a lot.